My friends, welcome back to the Smokey Mirror Podcast, where we dive deep into the creative minds that are shaping our culture and inspiring us all. My name is Jordan Jones. I'm your host and fellow creator, and I'm on a mission to spread knowledge and inspiration to help people like you leave your mark on the world. From artists to musicians to entrepreneurs and more, join me as we explore the intentional act of creation and the forces that drive us to do God's work. Welcome back. We have one of our favorite guests in the building today, Jabez. What's going on, Jabez?
Chilling, my brother, man.
Good to see you.
Likewise, man, as always.
Yeah, like you said, it's been a while, but it's right on time.
Yeah, for real.
So Jabez, obviously, you know, me and him go way back. And he hit me up one day and said, yo, I just met this dope brother named Caleb at InvestFest. He's about to come down to Miami. I really want to link up with you. And so we got Caleb here in the building. What's going on, Caleb?
Hey, what's going on, big dogs? Nice to have me.
Yep.
Hey, all the way here from Indianapolis. We here to, network and, see how we can help each other grow and uplift as we climb, brother.
I love to hear that. And Caleb is also launching his podcast. And what's your podcast called?
Hey, pull up on you, man. We gonna be out here soon, so we launching it on, All Smokey Mirrors Podcast. So, hey. That's how we uplift after the climb.
That's right. We collaborate. We work together.
Straight up.
We link up, and it makes sense. So, I kind of want to just introduce yourself, Caleb, and we're going to learn a little bit more about what you've been doing, because, you've been doing some crazy stuff, buying property in China. You know Mandarin?
Yep, so I know how to speak Mandarin full blown, but I do not know how to write it. Calligraphy, that's true artwork. That's your field. So I know, that's you. That's
right.
you.
That's dope. But no, you in the real estate. He's bought a bunch of different properties. Him and Jabez were just shopping for properties down there in South Florida.
Yeah. And what's dope, right? Was dope. And I really want to say this so Caleb really pulled up on me when we was at the InvestFest. It's really what happened. It's a true story. Me and my wife, because this year at the InvestFest, they had us parking like a half a mile from the conference center. So it was a little walk, a little mission. So we parked down there, and we was walking to the conference center, and Caleb was pulling up with his people. He was in the back seat. He hopped out on me and was like, bro, he let me know he knew who I was, and he wanted to link up. And you feel me? He was like, man, this is like manifestation. I told myself I was going to meet you. And I like the way he approached the whole situation. And he said he was in real estate, and he wanted to collaborate and make something happen, come out to Miami and look at property or whatever. And I was like, that's cool. I gave him my number. I like the way he presented it. He reminded me of me a little bit. You feel me? And so I gave him my number, but I didn't know if he was going to hit me up. So he hit me up. He was like, bro, I'm ready to pull up. I'm about to buy a ticket. And I wanted to do the podcast. I was like, who this is again? He was like, remember I had the suit on or whatever. I was in the car. I was like, oh yeah. So bomb. So he pulled up. So the play while he came out, this was the play. So he wanted to buy a piece of land because he see what I got going on with Jabez mango seeds.
Yes, sir.
So you could call me Jabez mango seeds. I got a goal to bring over 1 million fruit trees to America, and I'm not playing. And so
not playing.
So he liked that with the agriculture, and he liked how the way I help people lose weight. I made my books Life Matters, So Let's Eat Like It, and I'm a best-selling author now 2 times, and our whole family is a family full of best-selling authors, and he liked what's going on with that.
Black excellence.
I lost 100 pounds still eating the food that I like to eat. But the thing about Caleb, he lost 80 pounds too. So he was, so it was synergy there or whatever. So he was going to cut. So the play for him coming down to Miami was to do a podcast, and also to find some land so that I could grow on. So he was like, I'll buy the land. And he was telling me he need to buy some property anyway for tax purposes. So he want to buy a smart play with the land, and I could grow on it. And we can get the community involved, and the whole thing, we can inspire people to get into agriculture, and we could start learning how to, acquire land. Because, for example, like I know a lot of us, especially black people in America, we don't understand real estate. We don't understand how to actually own property. We don't understand how to buy smart. We just don't get it. You feel me? Because we wasn't taught. Right. Like I'm 42 years old. I've never bought property. I've rented my whole life. You feel me? And so, but I want to master real estate. You feel me? So but I'm learning and I'm understanding agriculture now, and I know how to communicate that. And so I thought it was a super dope idea for him to come with the real estate angle, and we can get the content, and he could break it down and make it clear and understandable. and speaking our language, how do you acquire property the right way to where it's profitable and to where you own? And then I can come in and I could explain how do we work the land in the right way. So this way now we're coming into our own as far as really just needing us, and we're not dependent on other people and other cultures to provide for us. We could provide for ourselves. So this is actually in real time. And we're just gonna document the journey. You feel me?
That's dope.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. No, I love how all that came together. Really organic, real genuine.
Yes.
Caleb, I got a lot of questions. Like I'm wondering, why do you need to buy a property for tax purposes? But before we get too far ahead, just take me back to when did you get started into real estate and how?
So I got started in real estate when I came back from China in 2019. My whole goal and focus was to go back to my community and buy it back. So back when I was a kid, seeing what turmoil has went on in my neighborhood, just wanted to come back and give back to the community and build it back up. Knowing that gentrification is happening all across America in the inner city areas. So one big thing that my mentors always told me was, if you want to be wealthy, not rich, there's a big difference. Right. If you want to establish wealth, you need to own real estate. So that stuck in my mind ever since I was 11, 12 years old. I always knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur, but this way I could build generational wealth, have stuff that's tangible, and also, create financial freedom. That's the overall goal, right?
That's right. So how'd you get the money up front? Like everybody talks about the down payment, the cash that you need. How did you get that? Saving?
Well, we'll be honest. I grew up in the hood, right? I'm a product of my environment, but I did not let that stop me. I lived the actual story like Jay-Z's, I was out there nickel and diming, and that actually helped me pay throughout college. I ain't even gonna lie to you. So once I got out of college, I used some of the money to go overseas and take on an opportunity to go in business, and that also helped fund a lot. So I originally went to China to teach English, and then my home state ended up owning hostels. So I ended up selling him a idea of basically designing his rooms that he had for the hostels, which are like mini hotels, into 5 major cities. So then if you stayed in that city, you got the experience of living in that city. So that also helped me wrangle up a little bit of money to create.
Hold on. So you was helping him, you told him to design the individual rooms?
Yes. So the individual he had, so hostels are basically like Airbnb.
Yeah.
But private room Airbnb. So it's like one house, but it's a bunch of individual rooms, but people share a common area.
Yeah.
So I basically told him, hey, design. It was 5 major cities. There was Chicago, San Francisco, Dallas, New York, and actually Miami. So each of these had the sports teams that was associated with it, wallpaper, newspaper articles, and stuff like that. So you had the experience to what it was like to go and visit that city.
And how'd you get money from that?
Basically, so he sold off his hostels. When he sold off his hostels, he broke me off for that idea that helped him, because back when I went over there my sophomore year, we put this in effect. And I was supposed to come back and work. So I only came back and worked for probably about a year in it. And in China, you don't get the opportunity to buy real estate. So he got an opportunity to actually buy some land and buy real estate. So I was like,
not to cut you off, but because you talking fast and I want people to catch up, because I'm just thinking, you feel me? So you say in China, you don't get the opportunity to buy real estate.
Yes.
Why? What would that be about?
So the government basically controls the real estate inside of China. So unless you're really, really rich or wealthy or have some ties to the government, you're not able to buy property because it suppresses the wealth system. So think about this. If the one way to build wealth is real estate, then how do I suppress the people? And a communist community is all about suppression. So back in, and this is a whole nother story, but Big Brother and Big Sister, Big Brother is watching you. During that period of time, that's when they start taking away the rights of people owning land and stuff like that. Because you used to be able to own it, but now they don't want you. So they suppressed it, make the prices super high. So he had an opportunity to actually buy the land. Wow. So I was like, instead of me being selfish, knowing that we could have made way more money off of the idea because it was going crazy, right? So I was like, hey, I'll just take this money and I'm going to go back to the U.S. and I'm going to start my own real estate journey.
And I thought, you know what I thought was dope, what he told me in the conversation, and this is where, like, having a vision and just being traveled.
Yeah.
Like, you could be someplace else and peep something, and an idea could really turn into a situation like it did for him, where he was able to make money when Buddy sold the property, and he had a lump sum of money. He was able to come back here and invest.
Yep.
So the idea that he noticed that you told me about was over there, a lot of people was imitating how it is in America. Elaborate on that to explain how the idea came to make each of the rooms an American city, and what you peeped, and with the thought process that you had about how you noticed that, like, people over there was.
Man, so when I first got to China, the first thing that I learned was everything imitates America. So down to a T. So if y'all want to know why those borders are really closed, that's because them copyright infringement lawsuits would be raining down. And I'm telling you, because, all right, so the first example that I seen was an iPhone. One of my leaders that came to pick me up had an iPhone, and I was asking her why is her messaging green, and if I felt like it wasn't contacting her. And she was like, no, this isn't an iPhone, this is an OPPO phone. So OPPO is their brand of an iPhone, and that mug looked exactly like the iPhone to a T. So I start then observing more stuff. Clothing brands, the Off-White. So they would have knockoff Off-Whites, all type of designers that you couldn't even tell the difference. So hence why we have the designer fake Chinese. You don't hear no other culture. It's always the Chinese bags that imitate it. So they believe that if you're American, that you're wealthy and well off and stuff like that. So they also believe the lighter that you are, your skin color, the more beautiful that you are. So that was two things that I learned about the Asian culture, and that helped me identify, like, okay, well, they love everything American, and if you put a Caucasian behind it, it's going to really go crazy. Right. So that was the niche that I saw, man, and I was like, well, what if I give them an experience? I'm an actual, and once people, here was the biggest thing. I kept my dreadlocks over there, and I wore gold teeth. People peep this. This is the reason why. I wanted them to understand that, yes, I'm black. Yes, I'm from the hood, but I'm just as educated just like you. I can speak your language, and that would mess them up.
Right.
So once they found out I was American, they treated me different. So that was when I knew how to go with mine.
Yeah.
People was just walking up to me just because I was English and I spoke American. People were paying me more to tutor their kid versus the other tutors that was from other countries.
Right.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
so
that's
did you learn Chinese or Mandarin here in America with the purpose of going over there to teach it?
My boy, shout out Austin Babb. I was talking to Jabez because my boy Austin has a sugarcane operation out there in Belize, and I was telling Jabez that's who taught me. Every night I would go over to his house. He knew that I wanted to get over there to China, and he knew that if he put me in this position that I would make something. He knew I was going over there for English, but he's like, hey, bro, I know you're a network and me who you need to meet to get where you want to do and do business over there. So shout out my mentor, Mr. Adele Means. In 7th grade, you always told me if I want to be a successful businessman, learn Mandarin and go to China.
Wow. Shout out to him, and shout out to you for following those instructions, and look where it led you.
Literally, it's the wisdom, bro. Wow. That's all I do, bro, is literally listen to wisdom. That's it, and follow.
When you got that money, what was the first thing you bought property wise here in America?
Shout out, I had 7 lots. I was telling Jabez about this earlier. 7 lots that I went to go buy in my neighborhood. So I knew that I got a little word from a birdie. Shout out Miss Lakeisha.
Shout out Miss Lakeisha.
Shout out Miss Lakeisha. Told me that they were putting $100 million into Riverside. So that's my neighbor.
So Miss Lakeisha, she was down in City Hall?
She was a realtor. But remember I told you I owned a record label?
Right.
So she used to help my artists with the record label and stuff. But she was a realtor and she knew I was getting into real estate. She was like, you need to buy in your neighborhood. They putting $100 million.
Wow.
And so now.
Wait, where you from?
Indianapolis.
Oh, Indianapolis. You said that.
So, yep. So now those same lots are worth $25,000 a piece 6 years later.
And how much you put down on them?
$10,000 per one.
Mm.
Roughly $70,000.
You said 6 years?
Yeah.
That's it.
And they parking 300,000s all over there in the neighborhood.
So now, peep this now. Explain the play of why you got into creating your contractor business and how that relates to those lots.
So basically, my whole goal is a 5-year plan. Once I got into real estate, I had a business partner, Mark Rogers. Shout out, I still love you. We was business partners for my entire life. And then we had got into business and I had told him, hey, in order to run this and to develop these lots, I know I just bought them, but I don't want to build them up right away. Because number one, the area is not ready. And number two, we don't understand what it is to actually own real estate and how to develop it. So in my 5-year plan, I'm like, hey, I need to learn how to control the entire operation. How do I become the one-stop shop and own all factors of it? So first things first, I end up becoming a realtor because after I sold my first property, I had to pay $20,000 to somebody for doing
nothing.
You know what I mean? Shout out. I'm still a realtor. Shout out. But yeah, you essentially are not really doing that much because of technology now.
Yeah.
Somebody can find their own house.
Exactly.
So that was the whole reason. But the contracting portion, when I was going through my first flip, I needed to learn what it was about zoning, permits, how to build, what are the processes you have to do, a rough-in check and then a finishing check. So learning all these things, I didn't want to skip the grind. So even now, that's why I'm just now in my head like, hey, I'm ready to develop them because I have a contracting business. I'm the realtor. I know the comps. Hey, I'm the investor. I have my running right. Now it's time to execute. So the contracting portion inside of real estate, you guys, is the most important person to your entire puzzle. And any real estate investor will tell you that's the biggest piece to the puzzle is the contractor.
Yeah, because the contractors can waste you a lot of money, time, stress you out. Yeah, that's so true.
You know what I mean? That's a little bit about that, but what about yourself? I know, Jordan, you are inside of the fashion industry and also owning a podcast. So just talk about that a little bit, man. And I know me getting in the podcast, what type of pointers can you talk to me about and give me,
Sure.
starting this up?
So the first thing I tell people is you got to really want it. And for me, I got my inspiration. I'm going to take you way back. I graduated college from University of Pittsburgh, and I was a business major, but I really didn't feel like I had a passion or I had a drive. I knew I wanted to get money, but I wasn't really inspired.
Yeah.
And so I got really involved on campus with like Black Student Union and the Black Business Association for the business school and things like that. So I was getting a lot more active with just pro-Black stuff. You feel me?
Yeah,
I grew up in the suburbs in Illinois. And so when I stopped playing football in college, because I played football, I had a bit of an identity crisis. I'm like, who am I?
Yeah, I know.
When I was in I grew up in the suburbs.
Trust
people
me.
make fun of me the way I talk. Oh, you're white and this and that. So I really had an identity crisis. But being in college, being around a lot more Black people and getting involved like that really made me feel comfortable with who I am and gave me a sense of purpose. So I was like, you know what? I had a friend, he was doing Teach for America. Have you heard of Teach for America?
No, what is that?
Let me fix the camera real quick.
Go ahead.
So Teach for America, essentially even though I didn't go to school to be an educator, they train you up and they place you in some of the schools that need the most assistance, which is generally in our communities, as you know. So I joined Teach for America, and I put Miami as like the number one place I wanted to go. And so they put me in Miami, and I was teaching middle school math down there in Brownsville Middle School, if anybody knows where that's at.
Yeah, I was actually just in
you was right down the street from Brownsville.
I would. Hey, man, shout out to the champ. I went to go see the champ yesterday at Brothers and Sisters Barbecue, man. And they was with the food guy that I shot and did the pull up on.
Oh, that's
for
dope.
the food portion of it. So he giving back to this community. That's what I'm on.
That's what's up. I definitely got to stop by there. Say the name of it again.
Brothers and Sisters Barbecue Pit Grill, and it was fire for $5 too.
Damn.
Slinging. Ooh,
What they was doing? Barbecue ribs and chicken sandwiches? What
bro, they had pork. They had pork chops. They got breakfast. So they had corn. I had corned beef hash. Eggs and grits for $5.
That's fire.
You can't beat that, and it was filling.
Yeah, you can't.
The
beat
pork
that
chops and fries, $5 with a drink. Bro.
No, that's crazy.
Yeah,
That's crazy, ain't it?
That's crazy.
And it was good. It wasn't bad quality food.
Right.
Like you can tell he got the connects on the food that's helping him out. Let's see the bigger picture.
That's dope. Shout out to Brownsville.
Yeah.
But that experience teaching opened my eyes up to a lot because, you know, I'm teaching 7th grade math, which is basically like algebra, you know, a one-step equation, area of a circle. But unfortunately, these kids could barely read. They could barely write sentences. They could barely do 3 times 2.
Yeah.
And so I was like, man, like, I'm not able to really teach these kids because anytime I bring in extra stuff that I think they need, the school district is like, oh, no, you can't do that. It's not on grade level. Oh, you can't do this. It's not part of the curriculum. So I was like, you know what? Like, I took a step back and I was like, if I really want to address these issues, it's not going to be in this classroom. It's not going to be part of the system. It's going to be where we thrive at, and that's with culture.
Yeah.
That's with spreading ideas organically, whether it be music, art, fashion, etc. And so that's where I got the idea to start my clothing brand. So, at first I didn't want it to be a clothing brand. I didn't know what I wanted to be. I knew I wanted to start something. I had a frat brother that was actually, he also did Teach for America. I met him down here. He went to University of Florida. Shout out to Tuck, Zeta Phi Noops. And so,
you a Noop?
I'm a Noop, yes
okay.
sir. So, are you Greek?
Nah.
Okay.
Well, I'm Caucasian Greek, but yeah.
Oh, bad. Okay. So anyway, him, and my other partner, Justin, who actually moved down. He's from Illinois. Shout out to Justin, my co-founder in Scut. We was like, bro, I want to make...
My college is y'all Alpha chapter. I went to IU.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, Kelly.
Oh, yeah.
So a lot of people, definitely if you want me to plug you in with a lot of those noobs up there.
I actually never made it out there. So.
Heavy. Shout out to Grant. I know you probably going to see this.
And shout out to Indiana. 1911, that's dope.
1911, the
start,
start
exactly, the OG.
I wish, bro, y'all just didn't have, like, when I was on there, the people that was in it, the people right after my class, that's the people, that's my homie Granddad. But the people that was there, they wasn't repping strong enough. And my uncle was alumni. He was like, bro, you're going to go and be a captain. And I was like, Unc, I would, but the Cappers that's up there not throwing bows like how you was throwing bows. And, you know what I mean? They wasn't doing it the same way. You know what I mean? So
it'd be like that.
But now it's back up. They run the yard again. So shout out to the news.
Shout out to the Alpha chapter. I love that. So yeah, we really wanted to change the culture for a positive way. That was the bottom line. And so we wanted to come up with something that was positive but not corny, because you can run into that too, where you're trying to do something really uplifting and positive, and people try to clown you. Oh, that's corny, that's lame, ain't nobody gonna fuck with that.
They don't hit.
And so that's why I got the name Scut, because it was funny. You know, I was hanging out with a bunch of the noops, and one of them, I think it was from Florida Gulf Coast. I think that's what chapter what school he was at. I forgot what chapter. But anyway, he was saying, oh, we about to get scuddy, like going out. And, and I was
that's
like,
hard, though.
Yeah,
that was hard. That is hard.
Like, oh, yeah. So I was like, bro, I love that. I'm going to have to steal it. I'm not going to hold you. And so we took it, and then we made it an acronym. So it stands for Spreading Knowledge Using Tactics.
Ooh.
And so the whole thought and reasoning behind that is like, yeah, we want to spread information, but we want to do it in a way that's strategic and in a way that will land with people.
Yeah.
And so, that's how the clothing brand was born. So that was in 2020 when we got started with the clothing brand.
Really?
We just did a New York Fashion Show, New York Fashion Week fashion show, literally in September. which was crazy. Definitely check out my page. Go on YouTube, type in Scut
know.
Runway 7 fashion show. It was going crazy. I threw 101s. We had bro riding down the runway with a skateboard. We had an artist rapping the whole time on stage. Like, it was a movie. So definitely check it out. But again, the whole purpose is I want to be able to spread positivity. I want to give myself a platform to platform gentlemen like you, Jabez, anybody else, so that we can spread the positive things that are going on.
Yes, sir.
And build back up our communities, because
bro,
we've come a long way from like the 30s. Like,
that's a big fact.
We had segregation, Jim Crow, and folks was still getting their shit together and building.
For real.
And now we have so many of those barriers gone, but we have way more barriers up
mental
here.
barriers,
And so that's really what this podcast is also born from as well. I learned so much from Joe Rogan and all the guests he had. I've learned so much from, so many podcasts I listen to, Impact Theory, it's just
Earn Your Leisure.
Earn Your Leisure, yeah. Shout out to those guys.
Shout out to Earn Your Leisure, bro. And that's the whole moral behind Pull Up On You, is because I wish I would have knew about them 2 years ago.
Right. But podcast changed my life in 2020. That's when I stopped listening to rap music you was asking.
Yeah.
And I started listening to podcasts and audio books. That's all I was listening to, bro.
Yeah.
And the game that I soaked up from them podcasts, Impact Theory, I was heavy on. Earn Your Leisure, I was heavy on. Inside the Vault with Ash Cash, Social Proof. I was on all them, bro, soaking up the game. And that's how I came up with, the idea to write my book. That's why I started selling clothes. I was seeing other people that was black that was getting money.
Right.
And they was getting it online, and I was listening to their tactics, and I was one step at a time just applying what I was learning, bro.
Yeah. So I feel like podcasting is still very early, and that we don't have as many. I think Earn Your Leisure is probably one of the biggest ones, but we need more black platforms. And I think that is the future, especially when you look at the election we just had.
Yeah.
Nobody cares if you're on CNN.
Joe Rogan shifted that whole situation.
For real.
Real talk.
And, you can say what you want, but nobody trusts mainstream media no more.
Definitely not.
It's nice propaganda. We all understand that now. And so the future will be people coming on and having a 3-hour interview. Are you a real person, or are you just memorizing talking points?
Yeah.
And if you real, you can get on here and talk your shit like the way we doing right now.
Straight up.
And what was you saying? All we need is 10 real people.
Yeah, I was telling bro, when he pulled up into town, I was telling him, because he came on me Pull Up On You, his podcast idea is about unity. And so my mission statement is, we're using Brilliant Minded as a tangible platform to connect with over 1 million brilliant-minded individuals to entice over 1 billion people into the light of morality, healthiness, happiness, unity, financial literacy, and all these things in abundance. So that's my mission. Unity is part of my mission. And so I'm really on that. And I was telling brother, it's been multiple people. I ain't gonna name names, but you know who you is. It's been multiple people that I've gone into business with that just got slimy to the point where it's hard for me to trust people. Straight up. I got real, my wife know me better than anybody on this planet. She know I got real trust issues. For real. But at the same time, my whole life, I know I can see it. If we were to just stick together, and when I connect with somebody, when I connect with people, and I be like, look, I'm gonna keep it real. All I need for you to do is keep it real, and let's not lie. Let's be honest. Let's just be genuine with each other. If an issue come up, let's talk it out. You feel me? I'm on that for real. But but what I noticed is, everybody ain't really on that. So the point what I'm trying to make when I was talking with bruh, I was like, 2 people together could do so much when I do the math and when I really think about it. When you really get on the same page, 2 people could do so much. 10 people, bruh, it's up, bruh. 10 real genuine brothers that really understand their lane. I'm starting to become a master at content. I understand that content and organic content, it's what allows me or anybody that's doing it to see what people are into.
Right.
If you put something on social media right now and it don't go, there's a reason. And 9 out of 10 times, it's not the algorithm. It's just people ain't into it.
Period.
So when you put something up and it go, you know people are into it. So really, content creation is like gold right now.
Yeah.
It's the attention. I understand the attention of it. And then when you got that attention, all you got to do is have something valuable that you can offer that's worth more than what they pay for.
Correct.
And it's just genuine value. That's why my books are doing so good. When you read information and you apply it, you get results. I mean, we got thousands of people losing weight. We got all type of testimonials. It's a trip. And so same with my agriculture content. It's about showing people how to, making it simple to understand and inspiring people to do agriculture. So I understand content. So when it comes to 10 genuine people coming together, my brother understands real estate.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
That's what I was going to ask you, not meaning to cut you off. It's like, can you talk a little bit about like what inspired you to get into the agriculture? Because I know we was talking a little bit about that in the background of your family and being involved in that. That's some dope stuff. If you can really talk about that, brother, please.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so what it was like a series of things, to be real with you. But like what it was, like the start of it was back in the days, the start of it really started from 2020. In 2020, when the pandemic hit and I realized how dependent I was on the grocery store. Like I went to the grocery store, I'll never forget when the pandemic hit and the time I went to the grocery store and it looked like a hurricane came through. It was crazy, bro. It was nothing in there. You go buy the chicken. It wasn't no chicken, bro. It wasn't no pork chops. It wasn't no ribs. It wasn't no steak. All it was, bro, I'm telling you, all it was like, you know, when you go to the pork section and you got that round, like it's a round slab of pork.
Yeah.
Like nobody get it. Like nobody don't never buy that round slab. That was the only thing left in there.
The world ending, and still ain't nobody buying that.
I'm looking, I'm like, dog, it ain't nothing in here. So I'm like, dog, so I left from there. I went to the Walmart. It was the same in Walmart. Then I went to the other Publix. It was the same. Like it was only a couple. I had to get the bag of chicken quarters, because it was like 2 of those left, and I got a big bag of rice, and I went to getting paranoid, bro.
Right.
Like I didn't know. Remember when
you got kids and a family,
bro? When all that was going down, it seemed like it's a memory now. It seemed like the Twilight Zone when I think about it.
No, for real.
I was spooked, bro. And so I was like, I realized at that period of time how dependent I was in the grocery store, and it made me feel like less of a man. And then also too, I was coming into my spiritual awakening where I realized how dependent I am on other cultures. And I'm like, man. And then how many points in the Bible? I read the whole Bible. How many points in the Bible how I talk about agriculture?
Yeah.
And so it was kind of like that's where it started, but it even started before that, especially in Miami. So that started going. So I decided to start like growing things in pots. Like I remember that night when I came home, I couldn't sleep, bro. I talk about this in the book I'm writing right now. The more we grow, the more we'll see. Everything we need is free. I already wrote this in the book. I could not sleep that night, bro. Like I remember I tried to sleep and I couldn't. I was thinking about how my money was running out. You feel me? I was thinking about how I'm dependent on the grocery stores. I was thinking about I had all this space and time and opportunity to prepare myself in case something were to happen, and I didn't take advantage of it. And I just felt like I wasn't a man. Like I was not where I was supposed to be as a man. So I was like, I remember I prayed. I was like, Yudewafe, I promise you, if you just don't make it to where the grocery stores break down and it's like, because I was thinking it might be like a zombie apocalypse. I was like,
it was getting spooky.
It was getting bad,
So I was like, if you just please don't let these stores, I promise you I will not waste no time. Like I'm going to figure out agriculture. I'm going to figure out how to make money online. Yeah. I'm going to figure this out. I will not waste. I'm not watching TV no more. I made a promise.
Yeah.
And so from that, I started to get on my figuring things out. And then really what it was though, bruh, and where the whole agriculture content came from, I had a flashback of my brother Richard, God bless the dead. He was, I remember we was driving that old Cutler in Miami one day. He was like, bro, you remember how it used to be mango trees and fruit trees everywhere? And I was like, it was. When I moved to Miami, bro, I moved into Coconut Grove. I could walk from my grandma's house to Carl Gables High School, and I'd be able to get some star fruit off one tree, a mango fruit off another tree. It was orange trees. It was all type of fruit trees where the tree would go over into the sidewalk, and just walking through the hood, you could just grab some. And so I would be able to get breakfast walking to school consistently, bro. But then it was like a citrus disease came. And so the city was going around doing tests on the trees because they were saying it was a disease going through all the fruit trees. So the city was testing your tree that was on your property, and if it was tested positive, they had to cut it down. And if you didn't let them, they'll put a lien on your property.
What?
Yeah, that happened in Miami. True, you could look it up, and it was all over the news. So they cut down a lot of fruit trees, bro. So I remember thinking about that, right? And then, so how it all come together, right? I was just in my thoughts reminiscing. I'm creating content. This is after I had started getting a buzz, and I was trying to think of, for probably a couple weeks, I was trying to think of different things besides just weight loss that I could talk about.
Right.
Because I didn't want to be like dependent on just weight loss. You feel me? I was trying to diversify, so I was trying to think what to talk about, and then my mind took me to Johnny Appleseeds. Like I remember hearing the story of Johnny Appleseeds back in the days, when I was young, and I was like, whoever Johnny Appleseeds is, they was lying because he was just going around making apple trees all across America, just planting trees with the seeds. And I'm like, bro, that's genius. So I don't know. I thought about that, and then I don't know. It just hit me. I'm like, man, I'm about to be Jabez mango seeds. I hit it. I'm like, man, I'm about to just start germinating seeds and growing, and I'm gonna start giving them out because I'm already getting money with the book.
Right.
I'm getting money with the book. I figured it out. So I'm like, I'm going to be able to get the money. I don't need to sell the agriculture. All I need to do is inspire people with it and give it out. And then down the line, I could turn it into a nonprofit.
Amazing.
And so that's when I started doing the agriculture. I was like, I'm just going to document my journey. I'm going to keep it real. What I don't know, I got motion, so I could just ask people. And people would give me tips. You feel me? And so I'm like, I'm just finna go nuts with it. And then as I started doing it, I started to love it more and more.
I love that.
That's what it is.
Man, Jabez pulled up on me. We did a podcast outside. We planted a tree, but my tree ain't make it, y'all.
Yeah, he done lost the mame tree. And
and I know.
And Brad even called me and asked for no tips and nothing. He just gonna let it die.
You just let it die?
Yeah, he did.
I mean, this is what happened. I honestly thought it was growing until all the weeks off. Because I would go outside and I'd be looking, I'm like, is it getting enough sun? Okay, I think it is. And I think that's what it was. I don't think it got enough sun because that freaking avocado tree is.
Yeah, it is. It is kind of, but I think you could have, it was probably something else. You feel me? But it's all good. It's how we learn, bro.
That's how we learn.
You know what I'm saying?
We learn. That's how we learn.
But no, I love that story, Jabez, because you're right. Like, why can't we have fruit trees everywhere?
Yeah,
feed the homeless, feed children. Like, why not?
Man, watch, we about to go up. Me and Burgess went over to shout out Kelvin. We dropped off a
that
guava
was dope.
tree.
That was dope.
Papaya. We dropped off a papaya tree to his house, man. Yeah, man. That was tree number 21. So it's only 999,979 more trees to go.
That's it.
Yeah, we almost there.
So I got a question for both of you guys, man. I know I had some challenges starting off in business at the beginning, but given two different fields, and whoever wants to go first, what were your biggest challenges starting your businesses, that you can offer to some early entrepreneurs that are looking to get started?
You want to go first?
Yeah, I can go first. Honestly, I'm running the challenges every day, but I would say getting started, the biggest challenge for me.
And how'd you overcome them?
Sure.
Got you.
Honestly, getting a successful business model, and honestly, that's still something I'm kind of struggling with when it comes to the clothes and the fashion, because it's like I have big ideas when it comes to culture and we want to do this media and this and that, but then when it comes to having a replicatable business plan every day, making money, it's kind of difficult because you need money to test products, you need money to rent studio space, you need money to pay somebody to edit. So I'm not even gonna lie, that's something that I still kind of struggle with. But one of the ways that I've been working through it is getting a team, working with other people.
Bro, that's key.
That's one of the biggest things.
Key.
You got to find somebody you can trust, like Jabez was saying, people that you want to work. Yeah, dependable, want to work towards what you have going on. Yeah. And then I'd say another key is getting mentors and people that's done it to really help you out and show you the way.
Mentors are key, man. Mentors are very key.
That's a fact, man. And that really, when you say that, for me, when it comes to business, I wanted to figure out how to get money online. You know what I'm saying? So when I started writing my book because I bought a course from Billionaire PA because I met Billionaire on South Beach. He was with 19 Keys. This was when I was promoting clubs on the beach. So I met Billionaire PA and 19 Keys. Shout out both of y'all, man. And I didn't know who they was. I just sold them a ticket to go to the club. They weren't even going to the club. They just respected the hustle. And they came in. Our family was running the restaurant out of V Live. It was a club on Ocean Drive that Akinelli owned. It was the first black-owned business on Ocean Drive in the history of Miami.
Dope.
And
wow.
so we was running the kitchen and selling food out of the kitchen, you feel me? And then we was promoting parties and all that. So that's how I met them. But anyways, long story short, I bought a course from Billionaire about business. And so in that course, Billionaire talked about how valuable intellectual property is. And so I've heard of IP before, but I didn't really understand it. But he broke it down and made it simple. Like IP is just whatever you could think of that's valuable. So if you write a book, that's intellectual property. If you make a song, that's intellectual property. This right here, this podcast is your IP. Your IP, this is intellectual property. It's all of ours, really, because we're going to all post it. So, so like intellectual property is just an idea that you create, and the more valuable of the idea and the way that you package it, the more money you can make. And so, so the book game, why it's so enticing, why it enticed me of all the different, because they went over different businesses. Like it was the clothes. That's when I started Brilliant Minded. I started the clothes, and I started writing my book at the same time because I figured I needed my own. So when it came to the business, I was telling you all the different stuff, you know what I mean, that I've done as a middleman and independent contractor between companies and the public. And I'd be the middleman to bring their product to the public. You feel me? And I was doing that. I was doing that for companies and in the street. Right. And I was doing that for so long, ever since I was 15, to where it was like, it was heavy on my spirit. I needed to have my own something that I created to push. You feel me? So if I make a book that's mine, I can sell anything. Right. I've been selling things for so long. I'm like, man, I need to stop selling other people's stuff.
Sell your own.
I gotta make something to buy and sell that. You feel me? Yeah. So I wrote the book. Whatever. Long story short, Billionaire gave out some advice in that, and I think this will help somebody. That when you are running a business, whatever you're selling, it got to be at least 300. It has to be a 300% profit margin. Like for example, if something costs me $10, I need to sell it for 300% more than $10.
So like 30.
Plus. 40. 300% of $10 is 40. So that's so when I peep that up, because if not, it's hard to scale. Like I know, like I was always on some, I'm a double up. Right. And even in the street, when it came to what I was doing in the street, I would make way less than half, just so I could get off more faster. Right. You feel me? So like I was thinking backwards and not even knowing it. You feel me? So that made me think like, damn, I need to make 300%. And so that's why he was like, that's why the book game is so valuable, because you could get a book printed for a couple of dollars and you could sell it for whatever you want to sell it for. When I wrote this book, I was gonna sell it for $100. Because of Nipsey Hussle, he sold his I'm gonna sell a $100 book. Yeah. But the point what I'm trying to make is, because you asked like, what was the biggest obstacle to overcome? The biggest obstacle for me to overcome was one, creating something that's my intellectual property. And then two, when it came to selling it, it was on social media, figuring out how to actually get people to buy it. Like, what's the process to get them to actually pull out their card and buy it through social media? I didn't understand that part, for real. I was telling you this earlier, like, and I hope this helps somebody, because I was like, how do I get, like, I got motion. People starting to show me that they're into what I'm talking about. How do I actually get them to the website next level to buy it? You feel me? I did not know that you could put a link in the description of your social media page to the website. I didn't even notice that this time. Like, I was getting motion on social media, but I didn't even know that. You feel me? So it was crazy. That. And so I hit up Billionaire. I'm like, bro, I'm trying to figure out how to get people to go to my website. Like, what I'm supposed to just be saying the website? He was like, bro, if I was you, I would just have them text you. Like, I give out a text line and they could text you, and then you could just text them the link. So that's when I started on my on TikTok. I started saying at the end of the video, I showed the wrong version of what I was eating. I showed the right version. I'm showing the ingredients. And then I showed my book, and I said, if you want to grab a copy, I'll give you a 50% off discount link if you text 786-650-80.
Hey man,
and I gave my whole number. But look, what's crazy, I gave my real phone number.
Hey man, he's so proud. He was telling me this story. I was on grind mode. I was like, bro, I don't know how to sell it, but if people start texting me, I'm going to answer every single text. I ain't care, bro. And I was telling bro this, I posted, and this is God, all praises due. I posted, the first post I posted on TikTok doing that went viral. And so I posted it. It wasn't no more than 15 seconds. My phone, I got a text. And I said text, life matters
and so I got the text Life Matters.
Boom, link.
And so I had
boom.
the link ready and like a little description before the link. I had it copy and paste it. I sent it. Bam. Then I got another text. And then my phone just bling, 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 bling. I'm telling you, bro, it was bro, that day I made like a rack and some change just from sending text that whole night. My text go, I'm waking up through the night. I'm just sending them. But then I learned that you could put in your description, you put like right now I'm doing a Thanksgiving sale. So I put 50% off Thanksgiving sale. And then on the second line underneath that, discount shows on the check-in page. And then underneath that, I put tap our sale link below.
You can put
I
it
give
right
them
on
the
the
call
post.
to action, and then I put the sale link. And then when I do my content, I give out the game. I give you some valuable information. I tell you that the book works. If you want to grab a copy, it ain't no pressure. If you want to grab a copy, I got the discount link right now underneath my profile picture. And you'll see the discount on the checkout page. So now what I did, I used my words to give you a visualization, how to get to the link and how to get to the checkout page. That's when you're going to see the discount happen. So I talked you all the way through to the close.
Nice.
So figuring that part out is how I figured out how to get to the money with the book.
That's crazy.
That's great.
Yeah.
I think to sum all that up is, one, you led with offering real value.
Yeah.
You had a clear call to action, and then you had a funnel, aka a website, and a whole process for them to go through that made it easy for them to convert.
Exactly.
I love that.
Exactly, man.
That's some real game, Jabez.
Yeah, man.
Real game.
Yeah, man. And it works. That's why I say if you got a goal to, better your circumstances in life, it really just come down to like doing it. Like you got to think, what am I doing that can help people? What do I understand now that I used to not understand?
Yeah.
And I wish I used to understand.
Yeah.
And as I look around, you wanted the businesses that you want to get into, in my opinion, are the businesses where when you look around, what you understand, a lot of other people don't understand. Mm-hmm. And so, and it don't even, in your mind, you might think it's not that big of a deal. Like, to me, I didn't even look at weight loss. Like, bruh, Caleb lost 80 pounds. You feel me? If you go to his Instagram, it'll trip you out. Bro lost a lot of weight too, man.
I can't imagine him with 80 pounds on.
That's great. So that's what I'm saying. And it's a lot of people that lost weight, bro.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's a lot of people that want to know how to lose weight. And there's a lot of different ways to lose weight.
Right.
So whatever you did that worked, all you got to do is explain it in a way that's understandable. That's why, and I want to give this out too. Like when it comes to like trying to transfer awareness to somebody else. All I do when it comes to content, I speak to my old self. So I speak to the camera like it's my old self. I used to get awkward in front of the camera, like I felt nervous a little bit. Right. But now when I look in the camera, I'm visualizing myself in 2008. You feel me? So I'm talking to my old self the way that I would want to be talked to, for I could understand then what I understand now, because there's so much I was confused about. So that take the nervousness out of it. And this is another tip when it comes to content, I'm speaking to one person. Some people,
that's what he was
especially when you coming up in the game, like when it comes to the content game, like when you coming up and you don't got motion yet, if you saying, what's up, y'all, and you don't got motion, it come off, it don't make sense. Like you saying y'all, like it's like a whole bunch of people watching. Like there's a lot of competition out here. Like humble down a little bit. Like speak to one person. But even when you start getting big, here's the psychology of it. When you looking at the camera, when you looking at the phone, and you doing your content, when you speak to one person as opposed to a group of people, even if 1 million people see that post at the same time, right? Let's say 1 million people see the post at the same time. It's 1 million people that are individually looking at the phone.
Right.
So it's not like you're speaking to a group of 1 million people. You speaking to one person. So when you do content, come from that angle, like you speaking to a person, and use verbiage like that mentally. You feel me? And that'll help a lot. I'm telling you.
That's fire.
Yeah.
Jabez, do you think I should make content on like how to do a podcast?
I think you should, bro.
Definitely.
I think any idea that you have, bro. I think any idea that you have will work. It shout out you remember Justin from the Money Team?
Oh yeah.
So shout out, bro, because before I took off with the book, he told me something that stayed with me. He was like, it was something about the way he said it. He was, because I hit him up about an idea that I had about something, kind of like a question you just asked me, and I hit him up about it, and bro was like, bro, just do it, man. He was like, do it. And he was like, one thing about it, bro, he was like, I know it's in you, just like I see it in you, I know it's in you. He was like, I know it's in you, bro. He said, one thing about it, just do every idea that you have. And when that one thing hit, when that thing hit, you'll know.
Right.
He was like, bro, to be real with you, like I don't know if I could tell you any better than that. He was like, you'll know when that thing hit, you'll know, and then just go all out. And I was like, that's real.
That is real.
And then not too long after that, I went viral on a post about flour right when my book was getting edited. And I was like, my mind took me right to him saying, you'll know. And I'm like, this is it.
This is it. Man.
That's what I was gonna ask both of you guys that question, but since you've already went into it, Jordan, can you describe to me a significant turning point that's impacted your business or something like that?
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, probably because it was when me and Jabez went viral. That was the first. Oh wait, let me do the camera real quick.
School, man, and just grab a little. I know I've done like little meetups and like seminars because that's what I do. Just real estate meetups, and once a month, every Thursday. Once every Thursday, the third Thursday every month. It's just you can come out and I just teach basic general information about real estate for free. You know, and I give away the sauce. But the thing is people don't pay attention until you make it not free. You know what I'm saying?
That's real.
Like that's the hardest thing is I come out and I give this information, so much information, and people charge tens of thousands of dollars for it, but I can't get. How do I get people to show up and like actually apply the information?
You know what
I'm not a flashy person. That's
you know
the biggest thing.
You know what I would do if I was you, bro?
What?
You doing what I think is the best thing for you to do. I would really go in on content, and instead of doing
That's
the in-person events where you're giving out the game, go online with it.
Webinar.
Like it could be a webinar, or you just post 90-second, 60-second posts, go on the reels, start doing like 8 to 10 minute YouTube posts, and just start giving out the game like that, and really be, like I was saying earlier, be real clear and make it easy to understand how to acquire land, how do you develop the contracting company, how to find the right deal, how to do comps, how to network, everything that you understand. Like for you to have went to a whole different country and network over there and find yourself in a situation where you designed a hostel and then
pretty dope.
Had the relationship so strong to where you left and came back, and then when he sold it, he broke you off.
Right, because
Hey, shout out to Lao Chin, bro. I love you so much.
But this what I'm saying, bro.
Boss all boss.
But this what I'm saying. If you could deconstruct every angle of that, when you get an idea like, oh, this is the way I communicate, and this is how we connected, like, and just piece at a time, just give it, and then what you do is, in the meantime, while you doing that, develop a structured course of action that you sell. Write a book, you feel me, and develop like a digital course, and where you give out piece by piece the whole game. And then as more people come to you, now you giving them the game, but at the same time you got everything housed in one place where they could pay more. Then you got the low level where they got to do it themselves. You got the mid level where you got a team that'll help them out, and you got the high level where they get the game straight from you. And so it's step at a time so now it's just giving out the game and wait till you catch that motion. And in the meantime, you develop your offers, and when you catch that motion, you got the offer right there. You feel me?
Ooh.
Yeah, I love that.
You feel
That's
me?
game. That's game, brother. I appreciate that. That's definitely gonna be game.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back to the question you said earlier, but before I say that, I just want to say I love Jabez because he always be inspiring me, and it's
love
crazy
you too, bro.
because I had ideas for the book. I literally still I have all the notes and everything, but just life be happening, and this shit just be falling off. But I'm ready to lock back in because. Like kind of like how you said, like I just feel it. I'm like, man, I really
back in that mode.
I'm doing a lot of raw ass cool shit. I need to be sharing, giving out the game, and making money off. I'm tripping.
Bro, you got your own house on a lake.
You feel me?
But even though you're going through your challenges at the same time, like it's easy for us to get caught up in our challenges and feel like we so far behind where we want to be.
When we
but
actually
at the same
really
time, we so far ahead of other people that want to be where we're at.
Right. So
and all you gotta do is explain how to get from where they're at to where you at.
Right.
That's the truth.
That's what it is.
That's so true.
And master that.
And that's why I love connecting with other people, because they give you that perspective. Even whether they're ahead of you or behind you, when you connect with genuine people, you get that perspective.
Bro, for real. That's why I tell people all the time, bro. It's like, I don't care if I'm getting game from a homeless person on the street. That homeless person on the street has went through way more. There's a reason why they sitting right there, but they done went through way more and can give you so much wisdom than a person that's even rich.
That's facts. And you never know. God might be using that person to talk to you in that moment.
For real. That's the wisdom, bro. I've always listened to whoever. I don't care if you richer than me. I don't care if you at the lowest level possible. That don't matter. That don't change who you are. You still a human being, and you have experiences that I can learn from.
That's a fact, man. You know, I got a question for you, Caleb. So, because you asked us when was the moment we kind of like that pivotal moment, and so you got 26 doors.
Yeah, 26 doors.
And to be real, because Brett had a little moment with us earlier, you know, and he showed one of his accounts, and it's nice. I'm just gonna say that. I don't want to put your business out there, but it's nice. Like, we're doing way better than I was at 29.
Yeah.
So, and I'm 40. I'm about to be 42. So what I'm saying is, knowing that, when was that moment for you with real estate where you like, okay, I'm on. Like, I know I could do this. Like, was it a moment when you was like, okay, I get it now. Like, this is it.
I think once the $500,000 in revenue generating from the contracting business. When I had that, I took one crew. So I'll never forget this story. William and Karina, I love you guys. I'm glad that y'all now are in position where you own your own businesses now. And that's what I've always wanted you guys to do. So I took one contracting crew. They were inside doing my aunt's stuff. And this is when I first started. I said, I need to find just one solid crew and we gonna run it up together, right? So they were doing my aunt's tile, and they were doing a nice job, and I never forget it. Shout out my aunt Misha, and I told them, I was like, man, you guys do good work. What do you guys all know how to do? And they were like, bro, we know how to do everything. And I was like, don't tell me everything, because I don't like that answer at all. But I was like, okay, well, they the Migos. Okay, they probably do know how to do everything. No offense. Shout out to the Migos, boy. I love y'all. So they was like, bro, I was like, well, here, I got this test for y'all. If y'all can come do this tile for me, I had like a whole kitchen where they need to lay tile. And I said, if you do that, we're going to lock in. I guarantee you I'm going to make you $1 million. So I didn't make them $1 million, but that first year of working with them, remind you, they were only two things. We were only doing kitchens and bathrooms, no whole flips. I grossed them over $100,000.
Nice.
By themselves. You know what I'm saying? Nice. So that was my turning point of my 5-year plan, knowing that, hey, I could have a crew, have that business working, but also be able to manage a whole flip. So that was my turning point, because I didn't want to go get a 9-to-5, but I wanted to stay inside of real estate. And being a realtor, what they don't tell you is you have to have your own sphere. So it ain't like, hey, they tell you go buy your own, sell your own houses. No. So that's why it was so pivotal, and my key turning point was when I knew my contracting company was able to run, and I was able to have, 5 different crews in each different division. So my drywallers, I have 5. I manage over 20 crews now. So in residential and commercial. So that was my pivotal point, was saying, hey, I got 5 drywall. I can call speed dial. I got 5 HVAC. I got 5 electricians that are loyal to me, that when I pick up the phone call, they're going to come and knock it out.
That's dope.
So that's when I was like, now it's okay. I can rip and run. Now I can build a house from the ground up. Because on my first flip property, the first property I ever bought, I did an add-on suite. So I had to learn to go get permits, go get the block foundation and build it all the way up, the framing, go get an engineer, architecture. Shout out Roger Malone. You've been helping me out my whole journey, but helped us out on our first flip to really teach us the game of what it's like to actually build a house from the ground up.
That's
what's
up, bro.
That's it, bro. I ain't
Congratulations on all your
live.
success, brother. That shit is amazing.
That's inspiring,
and
bro.
I wish nothing but continued success. I love to see
yeah,
it.
bro. Nothing for y'all too, bro, to see black brothers to be able to succeed. I do want to touch on one big thing, because you were up there with my homie. Shout out Street Dream Apparel, but you were in NYC Fashion Week, weren't you?
That's right. Yeah.
Back in September, you just glimpsed over that like it wasn't a big deal, big dog. Like, to be black and in fashion, and to be in New York. All right, you guys, there's levels to this. Now, if you're a clothing brand and we pulling up on you, you got to have accolades like Jordan, okay? Because it's a different type of lane when you make it to New York than, you know, a regular state in a regular city. So
No, that's facts. And this actually kind of ties into what you were saying, like, how do you know, like, that moment for you? This is one of those moments for me because kind of I was mentioning earlier, like, in college, honestly, my whole life, I was an athlete.
Yeah.
I was making fun of niggas for drawing and
Yeah,
video editing. I'm like, bro, I'm not about to sit up here and do, you know what I'm saying? I have a sewing machine right now. I was making fun of people for stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so, you know, when it came to being a clothing designer and all that, you know, we started in 2020. We just had the show in 2024. People loved it. They like, oh man, the logo is dope. What y'all doing is dope.
Yeah.
But still, like, I never really felt like a real design. I don't know, like,
Yeah.
it's just different. So now we go to New York Fashion Week. All these people, this is all they do is fashion.
Bruh.
And for them to be giving us accolades and be like, wow, like, this is amazing. People are coming up to us after the show
Y'all
like,
heard my
this
mans?
is crazy. We never seen anything
Yeah.
like this.
Yeah.
The
That's
production company, Runway 7, they post our content all the time. They had
major love,
our
bro.
artists. They
Shout
gave
out.
our artists a spotlight. The dude we had performing, like, they loved it. And so that right there really validated me as for what I'm doing. I'm like, wow, like, I'm legit. Because I'm not gonna lie. Even with the podcast, I was having a little bit of imposter syndrome. Like, why?
Because you got to start from zero, man. Like when you and I feel like it just hit my spirit to say this. I feel like this gonna help somebody. When it comes to like starting, like if you watch this and you like trying to get something going for yourself, right? You just got to get out here and start doing it. So like he had to go to New York, invest in himself and in his vision, and go up there and actually get in front of that crowd and actually put the whole play together, have all the clothes ready, have the whole strategy, and actually do it and put yourself out there on the line to do it. And when he did that, he got love, and then he seen the reaction from people, and people was rocking with it.
Right.
And so once you put yourself out there, you might put yourself out there and you see people ain't rocking with it. That's great. Now you know that didn't work, so you could try something else, but you got to keep putting yourself out there, because when that thing happened, you know, you feel me? So you just got to get out there and do it. That's so real, and it reminded me of what you just said. Is what it reminded me of for myself. This year I joined my first mastermind. Mm-hmm. So I just shout out Myron Golden. I joined his inner circle. So to be in that mastermind is $55,000, right? So I put $26,000 down, and I pay $500 and some change every week to be in this mastermind. Every quarter, there's a gathering in Tampa for everybody that paid to be in that mastermind. And Myron Golden give out game as far as business and all of that. And then also you network with everybody else that paid that ticket. So the minimum is $55,000. You got people in the mastermind that paid $350,000. It's levels to the mastermind. And then you got other people that paid, and there's other people that paid $1 million for a year access to the mastermind. And you fly in a private jet with him and all that.
I mean,
you get the whole game plan. Like you give out the real sauce. But the point what I'm trying to make is, for me, I had a moment going to this mastermind where I was able to see how many people that's making way much more money than me is so fascinated with me and what I got going on with content, and asking me all type of questions and giving me all this respect. And I said this at the last mastermind. If there's I already made my money back off the mastermind, and I'm up. But what I'm saying, so that's good, and everything that's from the stuff I learned, and I'll be able to keep making money with it. But the most valuable thing that I got from this mastermind is I used to feel awkward around wealth. Like when I would get around people, white, whether there was white, black, Asian, whatever, and I knew they was worth hundreds or like tens of millions or millions of dollars, I felt out of place. And I felt like I wish I had what they had and I don't. And I didn't really know how to conversate with them. I just felt off. You feel me? But now I realize this at the last mastermind I went to, I felt in place.
I love that.
Like I didn't feel awkward at all. And it hit me like I'm here now.
I'm here.
I'm here now. I told him I said that made the $55K worth it.
Right.
For real. So now when I'm around money, like we having a conversation.
Fact.
And it's real. Like I could just be myself.
Man, that's and real quick, I got to shout out my business partner Justin, because he really wanted to push for the fashion show. I was like, bro, I think we should spend that money on, running more ads, maybe developing more clothes. But he was like, no, bro, we really got to do this.
It's sometimes it's those events, bro, that you knew. Like even for me, bro, I felt like even going to Invest Fest and paying to ghosts or something, like I go to a lot of events and doing stuff like that, but for me to invest and go like, hey, I'm gonna go out on a limb and go to this thing by myself. I invited a bunch of people from my city, like, bro, I'm hearing this thing could be really good to open you up as an entrepreneur, but a lot of people weren't, listening or paying attention to it. But I will like to ask you guys, I know Jabez, you got kids. You got kids, Jordan?
No kids.
No kids, Jordan. So I was going to ask about the work-life balance. The work-life balance. I know you had a regular job and I
still got a regular job. I can talk about that.
So that's what I was going to say. The work-life balance now, doing the podcast and that. So whoever wants to start first, how do you maintain that work-life balance, and what's some strategies that you found effective, that can help people out? Yeah,
I would say if you want to be an entrepreneur and you work in a 9-to-5, work-life balance is not going to be balanced, to be honest.
It's not going to be balanced at all.
It's going to be more work than life. And that's where it gets back to, do you really want to do it and why? Because that's what's going to fuel you and drive you. Yeah. Because, like I said, this is going to be episode 94. And this has been 3 years in the making, and I'm telling you right now, it's still hard editing it. Like, it hasn't stopped hazing me yet. I'm still getting hazed by this podcast. So you gotta really want it. But on the flip side, I would say the routines. You gotta have a routine, and it can be a challenge if you, for example, like are working from home all of a sudden. Because when I was working from home, it's kind of like different when you get up, you go somewhere every day, and then leave. When you at home, it's almost like a little bit more challenging because you're like, I ain't gotta get up right now.
I ain't gotta get up.
Discipline,
you gotta have, but no, it's way better to have discipline, and that way you making less decisions. It's not, ain't no decision. I wake up this time, I go to the gym this time, I do work this time, I got the podcast this time, I'm editing this time. So having a routine and a schedule that you really stick to, that's what I would say is one of the biggest things. Yeah.
What about you, Jabez?
I would say like, it's a very similar answer. I got 5 children. Shout out all my children and my wife, and I love y'all. And the thing about it, right? It ain't really. I don't even know if that's possible. You feel me? Like for real. Like I really don't. I feel like it could get to the point when I have enough investments, where my investments cover my lifestyle, residual. Like you know what I mean? Like I'm making money off my investments. I don't have to do nothing but just manage them. Then I can find balance. But until then, I don't think it really is even such a thing. You feel me? So that's why I like to say choose your hard. Either way it go is gonna be choose your challenge. Either way it go is gonna be a challenge. So like figuring out, just like writing a book is a challenge. Figuring out how to market it is a challenge. Like actually putting myself out there to do it is a challenge. Asking people to purchase it and get all the no's is a challenge. Like go through that whole process is a challenge. Or I could take the easier route and go get a job where I get paid by the hour. Right. And that's a challenge. You feel me? Because you got to get up, you got to go to work, you got to do what you're told when you at work. And so if you got a job and you do have that itch to be like entrepreneurial, it's just gonna be it's like you got to embrace the challenge of it. You feel me? Yeah. Like you just got to do that. Like it's not a balance. Like I would like to have. I'm with my children every day, but I spend more time on my grind than I do with them. Right. But I do that knowing that it's I could create a better situation for them. And I accept the fact that I got to take what comes with that. Yep. They see what I'm doing, and they might have their feelings, and they might respect that. They respect it, but they might, in the back of their mind, wish they had more time with me and wish we had more conversations. And I'm doing my best but I made my choice. Right. And so it's like, it is what it is, and I do my best to communicate that. And that's just what it is. Like, you got to choose your challenge, man.
You got to choose your challenge, yeah. And actually, I want to flip this on you. I had a question about managing all those people. You said you had like 20 teams or crews. Yeah. How do you manage all that?
At first, bro, what I had to do was systems and processes. So until probably about a year and a half ago, I did not have any systems and processes. For me, it's just I knew like, okay, so what I had to do was break it down. So yeah, I have these crews, but now these crews rotate and work for specific divisions. So my investment crews are 5 crews that are inside the investment division. So they only work for Buy Back the Block, which is my company, and other investors that hire my company. So they only do small, medium, and heavy rehabs. They're the rehab crew, right? The kitchens, the regular clients is the regular residential kitchens and bathrooms. So the kitchens, bathroom, flooring jobs, paint jobs, those crews are, there's about 4 crews on there. So they do their regular kitchen and bathroom, the tile, then they rotate on. Then the commercial is a little bit different. So contracting with commercial is more down the line. So you bid on a job, say November, but the job might not start till May of next year. So we got the contract to do this, so they're a little bit more free to either go help these 2 other people or to make sure that the timelines of these projects. So my niche for my contracting is how fast I'm able to get projects done because I put these systems and processes in place. So when it would take somebody, 4 or 5 months on the rehab, I can guarantee, and I have, reviews and customers to prove it, I can get a flip done down from the studs in a month.
So it sounds like it really boils down to organization in those processes.
So it's like saying, hey, well, you got 2 days to do this. It should only take 3 days to do this. Well, it should only take 2 days to do this. Shout out to, there's a show on Netflix where I got motivated, and now I make all of my new crews or somebody who wants to join me. Watch it. So you ain't got no excuse to tell me why this ain't done. Because they doing it in a day.
You can't do it in 3.
So you can't tell me that this is So if you want to join my team, this is how we work. You're gonna get paid accordingly. But this is my expectations because that's why we get so much business, because we set ourselves out. That was my next question to you guys is how do you set yourself out to your competitors that differentiate from you and your competitors? Because mine, for me, is project time and how we're able to get it done and budget friendly. So I know with investors, we work with hard money. You know what I'm saying? So with hard money, you have to pay on that money every month. So you don't want to be paying on that money every month.
It ain't coming back.
It ain't coming back, and the project is stretched out 6 months. So I've learned that, and that's my niche. So if you come mess with us, United Nations General Contracting, the whole thing of when I made that name is Unite All. I've always been about unity.
Unity, it's important.
That's dope.
So, I love that.
So that's my question to you guys. How do you differentiate,
Yeah.
Good question.
I would say with the clothing brand, what differentiates us is what we stand for. I mean, the logo itself is very unique.
The Scott name,
and
bro.
And not only do we have the spreading knowledge using tactics, but we also have strength, knowledge, unity, and truth. So just the depth behind the brand and the meanings that we put into even the designs is what really makes it stand apart. Because anybody get a T-shirt, why buy a Scott when you can get a Supreme or this or that? It's because of what it stands for, and people really gravitate towards that. As far as the podcast, honestly, it's me. You're not gonna, who else can talk to? I talk to artists. I talk to people who started companies. I can talk to a criminal. I can talk to a I can talk to anybody. You know what I mean? And what's really great about what people have told me is what's really great about this is I take people, and especially artists, I humanize them. So, a lot of times I feel like artists get almost locked into their persona.
Bro.
Who they are as a person.
Forget who they are.
And so I can help kind of break that down to where it's what is you were like as a mom, Sexy Red? You know what I'm saying? What's it like?
That's real.
Really humanizing them. And I think that shows a perspective to their fans and to the audience of wow, that's cool that this is a regular person, but they're doing things that I think are amazing.
Dope. That's dope, man.
That's it.
I love that, bro. I love that.
Thank you.
Me personally, I know in my spirit what it is for me, why I'm different is my values and my genuine care about people. You know what I'm saying? I have studied morality and ethics for over 1,000 hours. I'm not making this up. I really have a spiritual mentor, and I really spend thought process on how to be the best person I could be to bring about a better world. Real talk. So when I come to my content, I'm freely giving out information, And I fully understand and I fully have faith that I'll be blessed for that. And so all I got to do is figure out how to capture the value that I create and give out. So I'm very giving of information, and I genuinely care about I ain't gonna say all people. I don't care about demons. I don't. Right. But I genuinely care about, not for real, like they make me sick.
Only God can care about that.
Everything.
No, but even in the Bible, God has a hatred in his spirit for evil doers. Yeah, it's a hatred. It's in the Bible. But the majority of people have good in them.
Right.
So when I look at all people, I look at the creator of all things, because we are created by the creator. So when I speak to you, I'm speaking to the creator in you. And so when I do my content and when I see people on the street and when I'm genuinely, this is genuinely me.
Yeah.
So I think that's what separates me from a lot of people. A lot of people ain't moving like that.
That's tracks. And I have to do a meta take right here. That's what Smokey Mirror is all about. It's like when you're talking to somebody else, you're really talking to the creator that's in them, which is also in you. So it's really like you talking to the mirror.
Yeah. Talking to yourself.
And it goes back to what you were saying. When you making content, you talking to yourself. And that was how it was for me. I'm like, man, even if one person watches this podcast, it's a success.
Yep.
So
I'm gonna treat you with love and respect, man.
Yeah, that's right.
People feel that.
They feel it. Yeah,
that is what it's about, bro. Like, just at the end of the day, bro, it's just understanding that everybody is human, treats them with the same dignity and respect, no matter where they are, how they are, or where they are in life. And I think everybody just deserves that. And the biggest thing, bro, is just we don't want to uplift each other. Right. That's the biggest thing. Instead of saying, "Hey, brother, how you doing today?" Like, anytime I walk past anybody that's, I would say, not just saying this, but anybody of color, I just be like, "What's going on, black woman? How you doing today? How you doing, black king? You doing all right? You doing all right, my brother?" Right. Why do I say that to every black man? Because we're supposed to be brothers. That's what God created us for. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But we don't realize that, and that's how we slowly, instead of saying, "What up, my nigga?" say, "What's up, brother? How you doing today?"
Yep. Well said.
Switch that mindset and how you do it. And if we can get enough people on that wave, and and we were just talking about that, even just cursing, Jabez saying like, "Hey, bro, certain things, appear to a certain way to individuals. So even though your character might be speaking this way, you might say a curse word and might deter somebody's ears to be off because they don't mess with it."
Yep. And I stopped cussing in 2020 but I shout out Hakeem Anderson. He put me up on how the English language is was the only language on the planet Earth that was created by a group of spellcasters. All languages all languages are a derivative of either Arab or Hebrew. I believe it's Hebrew, but who knows these things? But all languages come from the original language. And so there's a lot of languages on the planet, but there's only one that was created by a group of spell casters. People understand the magic of spell and like wizards.
Spelling, yeah.
So that's why they call it spelling. So when you do a curse word, you're cursing. It's a curse spell. And so when you say these words, that's the energy that's coming from you. And so I used to cuss all the time.
I'm gonna say that.
My family, like I was on
it. Deep,
so when I learned that, and at the same time I learned that lesson, at the same time I was really getting, I had hundreds of hours under my belt of studying the Bible. So it all made sense for me to just stop. Like, let me just stop and see what happens. And the more I think about it, you can't turn somebody off by not cussing. If you turn somebody off by not cussing, you don't need to impress that person.
Yeah, I mean,
straight up. Like, you don't. If it's a person that's getting turned off because you don't cuss,
well, you ain't say a bad word.
That's not somebody you really need to be rocking with. Yeah. But you can turn off a very good person to be in your life by using language like that.
That's
someone
true.
that really believes that these words have power, and they're gonna hear that and be turned off by you. So you might as well just don't do it.
Don't do it.
That's true. And I think, and it even goes a step further about the things you say about yourself and the world around you.
Yeah.
This is going to be really crazy, but we don't see reality, we really project it. So like we're getting light through our eyes, and our brain is like creating an image. And so when you think about your brain is making that image, you can program yourself to have positive things or negative things based on the things you say and the things that come out your mouth. Yeah. And they did a study that says like negativity is way more powerful for your mind and programming than positivity. Yeah. So if you can just not say negative things out loud, it does wonders for you. You don't even have to be positive. Just don't say anything negative. For example, you don't say like, "Oh, I can't do this," or "I
Boy,
can't
they
do
show
that."
got on me earlier.
Yeah,
I
we
said, "Hey, I can't. I hate technology." And they was like, "I said, man, I can't." And they was like, "Hey."
I said, that's the first thing you need to stop right now. That's the first mistake right there. Don't say that.
You know, for real. But that's accountability between brothers, and that's what we need more of. Like, for real. Yeah. You know, and I take pride in that and having like-minded brothers like yourselves around, you know. And so I will ask one more question, right?
Sure.
How, and this is something, you know, everybody goes through. How do you overcome your tough time during business? Like, what is your motivation after you go down through that slump? Because I know when COVID had hit, it was a good time for y'all, but it was a horrible time for your boy. Your boy was, it went good right before COVID. And then COVID hit, then interest rates start going up, and your boy was crying. I never forget, boy, I had to come off 20 G's, bro, on a property that it was in over like 40 grand in equity.
Damn.
Because of interest rates that happened in that neighborhood. So it's like, it's really,
You can keep going.
it's really crazy, you know, because of that. So, like, just learning that type of thing, bro, and understanding that, like, so I know I went through that little peak in there, and I know I was able to overcome it. But what were, you know, some things that you guys have done to overcome that rough time, and what gave you that motivation?
I would say for me, it's I know in my heart I'm not gonna stop.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll take a break, or you know, life is happening, and I'm not getting that podcast out every week like I want or whatever. Yeah. But I know it's not gonna stop. Like I'm gonna get back to it eventually. Like there was a bit of a hiatus from like I think I posted an episode in like August, and then my other one that I posted most recently was in November. So there was a little break in there, but never in my mind was it gonna be quitting.
Yeah.
Even if I had to take a year off, I'm gonna get it back. So I think to answer the question, it's not a great answer, but it's kind of ambiguous. But it's really just like, as long as you don't quit, you're almost guaranteed to win.
Yeah, that's a fact.
As long as you can stick it out, no matter how long it takes, keep putting in the work and just don't quit.
Your boy was about ready to quit. I was in tears. I said, bro, what? This mug was worth? What are you talking about? Y'all just told me. You tell me I gotta. Bro, what? And it wasn't just that one. It was like the slew of them. It was like, bro, y'all telling me, and then it wasn't, that's when I got into like, bro, these are some of my good rentals. Are you telling me? And then you gotta offload some, and because of this, and it's like,
so
I
what
never
made you stick it out?
Yeah, what made you stick it out?
Bro, sent to retire my mom.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. She's on dialysis, and you know, I had to take her to dialysis. And I remember this vividly. I was like, you know, how do I get to her? And she had to come off of work. So she was still working. She would have to get off at like 1 o'clock and then go. And then she had a stroke, bro. So she had a stroke, and I'm like, well, she can't be working much longer, you know what I'm saying? And so that was my biggest thing, and just having my little girl. Those two people were the main reason why I was like, man, I gotta keep going. The generational wealth, bro.
Deep. That's deep. I think that's what it is for everybody that achieve greatness. Either you gonna keep going or you gonna quit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like for me, it's like my whole life, I felt like I was here for a reason.
Yeah.
I told my wife, there's people I asked people, you know, if you ever felt like you could change the world? Like, I be asking people, and people be like, most of the time, like, I don't even have this conversation with people no more because of how many times
they looking crazy.
Or they feel like I'm trying to put on, like they feel like I'm trying to like stunt, like I feel like I could change the world. But ever since I was young, I felt like I could change the world.
Me too.
So it's like, but look at that. See, there ain't no coincidence. We all right here, right? You see what I'm saying? But what I'm saying, for me, it's like, okay, every time that I think to do something, if I quit, I'm not gonna get there.
Yeah,
Right.
And I would rather, like, I know in my spirit, like, we are eventually all of us get to that point where we cross out of this body and go into the other place,
Right.
wherever that is and whatever that is. We all gonna have that moment where like that, like you're gonna know, like, oh my God, this is my last breath. Like,
Yeah.
so, like, everybody gotta cross that bridge. Everybody gotta cross that bridge.
Yeah.
And I know in that moment, and I know but real game.
It's real.
Real talk. 'Cause I had a couple of times where it was like I felt like I was fighting death. And so what I'm saying, like, I know that, like, I felt like I got close to it. And so what I'm saying is, in that moment, I didn't feel like in both of the moments, I didn't feel like I did enough. Like, I didn't do enough, man. And so, and then at the end of the day, I know if I quit, I know I didn't do enough. So I might as well just keep my foot on the gas.
Yeah.
And at least I know I tried.
Nah, I
You feel me?
tried.
100%.
Straight up,
Yeah,
man.
bro.
Straight
I-
up.
It goes back to, again, what are you doing it for? And I
Yeah.
really think you got to dedicate your life to something bigger than
Bigger.
you.
Yeah.
The bigger picture.
Because, like, for me, in college, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to dedicate my life to uplifting the black community in any way I can do it. And I didn't even know exactly how, but I just knew, like, this is what is going to be my North Star guiding me in the future. It's what made me want to be a teacher, what made me start the podcast, the clothing brand. And sometimes in the day-to-day, you can forget when you editing your 91st podcast, you're like, damn, what the hell am I doing this shit for? I don't feel like it. Like,
Right.
You got to remember the reason. Remember why you
That's
got
what it
started
is.
and just
That's
keep
what
on
it is.
chugging.
Yeah,
That's what
bro,
it is.
that is.
Man, this was good, man.
Yeah,
this was a good
was
vibe.
good.
Caleb's
I
a
think
good
so.
vibe, man.
Jabez is always good with you. Caleb, you got to come to Miami more often, bro.
Bro, I think we can really turn this into something like real thing. Like, I really just want to pull up on people, like, and just really make this a big thing and really just share wisdom with each other. Like, we got that group chat now, so let's drop information, whatever we learn. Or, like, for me, I'm heavy into the stock market now, so I've been inside of it on the, like, laid back investor, but now I'm on the options. Shout out to Ian and, Earn Your Leisure, bro. So heavily on that. You guys need advice or anything like that, bro, or any type of connection to any type of field, that's what I'm about. I'm about, hey, how can I help this person further this?
Facts.
Wherever you may be in life, bro, everybody can help somebody.
Real
That's
talk,
how I
man.
feel.
And this is another thing, and it just hit my spirit to say that, especially us, like, as a people. Like, every connect that I have is Jordan's. Every connect that I have is my brother Caleb's. Like, I don't hold connects.
Right.
Like, I don't need to hold it to make it up for me. Like,
Right.
Like we need to stop doing that with each
I was
other.
about to say, I
for
got a
real,
question.
dog. Like, we need to stop doing that, dog.
Why do you feel? I want both of y'all answers. Why do y'all? All right, let me ask a situation that has happened.
Yeah.
And then why do you feel like people do it?
I ain't gonna say no names, but I have people but for real, like, people that, that I rock with even to this day, but I see their ways, like, they like a middleman between either like a manufacturing plug or like a whatever. I don't want to get too specific, but like they know somebody that could help my situation out, but they don't want to connect me. They want to, like, be the middleman. Like, I gotta go to them, and then I gotta pay them, and then they pay this person, and they keep the jug. And, like, you get what I'm saying? Instead of just connecting me straight to the person, like, why you gotta jug the situation? just introduce me to who I need to know to get to where I'm trying to go.
Yeah.
Because one thing about it, when I make these connections, when I'm gonna make money with the people.
Right.
I'm gonna make the money off the moves that I make. I don't need to make money off my brothers to connect them to somebody that can make the moves off the plug
that's
that
what
they
I be
got.
saying.
Like, we gotta stop. That's what's holding us back. I feel not the only thing, but that's one of the things.
That's
like,
one of the big
if you
things.
feel like you gotta be a jugger of connections, you not putting in enough work, man. Like figure out how to get it on your own and connect your brothers and sisters to the people when they need them, man. For real, man. We got to start doing that.
I think it comes from a scarcity mindset that
I've heard that too.
It's like I kind of want to. I don't want to blame capitalism, but it's something about individualism and, like, the way we are in America, where it's like, I did it on my own, I get it. And so you don't feel you almost feel like it's competition if you helping other people.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
in reality, like, there's plenty of money to
bro.
go. Everybody can eat.
I don't even know why people do it. Like, it's like speaking Chinese to me. Like, I'm confused. Like, you feel me? Like, real talk. Like,
why?
I don't get it. Like, just stop. Like, we just gotta stop doing that. That's it.
I mean, people do it on restaurants. They won't tell you what restaurant it is. They'll post
Bro, post
a
it
meal
just
they're having. Where's
you
that?
going
Don't
to my
worry about
spot.
it, bro. I don't want a long line there. What?
You want to know? I really want to say this because, man, it's some people inside of my city. Like, I've been asking them to link up for so long, and you know, it's so crazy because now they're inside of the contracting field, and I've been telling them, like, we all do real estate, bro. Why don't we all link up? You're an expertise at this. I'm an expertise at this. Instead of you trying to come over here, I can teach you all the stuff that I know, so you don't be bumping your head.
Right.
And we can all work together, bro. There's so much money out here that can be made, but we just don't want to come together. For what reason? I don't know.
No, but we doing it though.
We doing it though.
We know all we gotta do.
And we gotta lead by example.
All we gotta do is stay consistent and lead by example,
That's true.
man. And at the end of the day, the time gonna always tell the truth, man. But like I say, what bruh good at, bruh good at real estate. Bruh got a podcast. He understand what's going on. We coming together. We all interjecting what we got going on. I got Motion online, so now all of us is sharing information with each other, and we ain't holding nothing back. Like that's all it. Like bruh understand the stock markets. If he put a play in with the stocks and is making money, or he foresee a play that's making money, all he got to do is just tell us, man. That's all you got to do. Look,
hey, look,
I just put 10 racks over here. I just put 5 over here, man. Trust me, it's working. Like put your money right here. It's working right now. Like that take 10 seconds.
10 seconds,
and,
bro.
You feel me? And then if I be like, bro, how does the process work? Like, how do I actually put the money in there? Bro, take the 10 minutes to explain it. Like, that's all we got to do for each other, man. And as long as we stay consistent doing that, we're going to just keep charging up. It ain't no excuse for us to not all have. So, like we got a little situation going on right. It was really a big one going on right now. So all we got to do is stay consistent. That's it. You feel me? Right. And then everybody, and I want to say this too, man. If anybody see what we got going on and like it, I'm starting to put the word out, man. I'm looking, and I told Caleb this earlier today. I'm looking for 10 people. You brought it up earlier. I'm looking for 10 people, right?
Yeah.
That's genuine, that's moral, that's ethical, that's have the same frequency that I got, and that have value to bring to the table, whatever your field is. And because, you know, we got to understand real estate. We got to understand insurance. We got to understand investing across the board, stocks, trading. We got to understand the jewels. We got to understand, you know, everything. Like people got expertise in different areas. We got to understand media, content, you know, so that's everybody that got motion, that is actually doing things,
doing the work,
and that actually wants to connect with other people that are doing things. I got a platform. You feel me? Period. Bro got a platform. We all come together. If you want to connect, email at brilliantmindedllc@gmail.com. I check them emails. My wife checked them emails, and our daughter checked them emails. Email us. Give us your social media. Give us the proof of concept and everything that you got going on, so we can fact check and see what's popping. And then we'll link up. You feel me? And let's make this thing happen, man.
I love it.
Straight up.
Hey, for real, man. And let's be all action, not all talk. That's the biggest thing. All action, not all talk. So, hey, and this why we pulled up. We in Miami today.
Oh.
You know, on the Smokey Mirror Podcast, we got Big Jabez in the building. You know what I'm saying? So, that's what we doing. Establishing greatness. So,
absolutely.
That's what I'm talking about. Thanks, brother.
Man, this was good, man.
Great, man.
This was great, man.
Much love.
Prayers up, blessings up.
You already know.
Make sure y'all go grab that book, too, man.
Oh, yeah.
That.